The huge metal doors of the Galactic Council chamber opened with a soft hiss. Commander Han Sol walked inside, his black uniform crisp and clean. Behind him, Dr. So Min carried a data pad filled with numbers and charts. Captain Dongwu followed. Last, his hand resting on his weapon. The chamber was massive. Hundreds of alien species sat in floating chairs around a circular room. In the center stood a platform where speakers addressed the council. Han Sol had stood on that platform many times before. Always asking, always begging, always leaving with less than he needed. "The human delegation may speak," announced the council speaker. The blue-skinned alien's voice echoed through the chamber without emotion. Han Sol walked to the center platform. He looked up at the thousands of eyes watching him. Some species had 4 eyes, others had 6, a few had none at all, but they all looked at him the same way, like he was a child asking adults for help. "Honored council members," Han Sol began, "the Skari Empire has attacked 3 human colonies in the past month. Our people are dying. Our cities are burning. We need advanced weapons to defend ourselves." Murmurs filled the chamber. Not concerned. Murmurs. Annoyed ones. The Zentari representative spoke first. His long neck swayed as he talked. "Commander Han Sol, humans have asked for weapons before. What happened to the pulse rifles we gave you 5 years ago?" "They helped save New Tokyo Colony," Han Sol replied. "But the Skari have better shields now. Their ships are stronger. We need something more powerful." A laugh came from the Vrex section. The cat-like aliens always found human problems amusing. "Perhaps humans should learn to build better defenses instead of always running to us," one said. Han Sol felt his jaw tighten. Dr. So Min stepped forward. She was small compared to most aliens in the room, but her voice was clear. "The Skari use quantum plasma cannons. Our current shields cannot stop them. If we had access to graviton technology—" "Graviton weapons are too advanced for humans," interrupted the council speaker. "Your species lacks the understanding to use them safely." "We could learn," Han Sol said. "Like you learned to use fusion reactors?" asked the Yalian ambassador. 3 of your worlds still glow from those accidents." More laughter filled the chamber. Han Sol's hands became fists. He had heard this before. Every time humans asked for help, someone mentioned their mistakes. No one talked about their successes. "What do you suggest we do?" Han Sol asked. "Just let the Skari destroy our worlds?" "Evacuation is always an option," the council speaker replied. "Many species have relocated when faced with superior forces. It is not shameful." "We will not abandon our homes," Captain Dongwu said loudly. His voice cut through the chamber noise. "Humans do not run!" The Ixian representative made a clicking sound with his mandibles. "Humans do not run because they do not think. The Skari are stronger than you. Accept this fact." Han Sol looked around the chamber. These aliens had starships that could cross the galaxy in days. They had weapons that could destroy planets. They had technology that seemed like magic. But they also had something else. They had fear. Fear of change. Fear of sharing. Fear of humans becoming too strong. "You are afraid of us," Han Sol said quietly. The chamber went silent. "What did you say?" the council speaker asked. Han Sol raised his voice. "You are afraid of us. You give us just enough help to keep us alive, but never enough to be truly strong. You want us weak." "That is absurd," the Zentari representative said. "We have helped humanity for 150 years. You have controlled us for 150 years," Han Sol replied. "Given us scraps while keeping the real power for yourselves." Dr. So Min touched his arm. She whispered something in his ear. Han Sol nodded and looked back at the council. "This is the last time humanity will ask you for help," he announced. "We will handle the Skari ourselves." The chamber erupted. Aliens spoke in dozens of languages. Some laughed. Others seemed confused. A few looked worried. Commander Han Sol, the council speaker said, "You cannot face the Skari alone. They have destroyed civilizations far more advanced than yours." Han Sol turned to leave. Dr. So Min and Captain Dong Wu followed him. "Commander," the speaker called, "do not let pride destroy your species." Han Sol stopped at the chamber doors. He looked back one last time. "Our pride is not what will destroy us," he said. "It is what will save us." The doors closed behind them with a final hiss. As they walked down the long corridor, Captain Dongwu spoke. "Sir, can we really fight the Skari without council help?" Dr. So Min smiled. It was not a happy smile. "Captain, we have been fighting without their help for years. They just did not know it." In her data pad, hidden beneath meaningless reports, were the plans for Project Silence. Plans they had worked on in secret. Plans that would change everything. The time for asking was over. The time for taking had begun. 3 days after Commander Han Sol left the Galactic Council, the Skari war fleet approached New Busan Colony. Admiral Young Ho stood on the bridge of the human flagship, watching the enemy ships on his screen. There were 50 Skari vessels. Each one was twice the size of human ships. "Admiral," reported Lieutenant Kim Soo, "the Skari are sending a message." "Put it on screen," Young Ho ordered. A tall, gray-skinned alien appeared. His red eyes glowed with confidence. "Human colony, this is War Commander Thek of the Skari Empire. You have 1 hour to evacuate your world. After that, we will begin bombardment." Young Ho stepped forward. "War Commander Thek, this is Admiral Young Ho. We decline your offer." Thek's eyes narrowed. "You decline. Human, your species always runs. When we arrive, your council friends are not here to save you." "We are not running," Young Ho said calmly. "And we do not need saving." The Skari commander laughed. "Brave words from a dead man. Your ships are toys compared to ours." "Perhaps," Young Ho replied. "But toys can be dangerous in the right hands." The transmission ended. On the surface of New Busan, Engineer Boram sat in a hidden control room, deep underground. Around her, dozens of screens showed the approaching Skari fleet. She typed commands into her keyboard with steady fingers. "Project Silence is ready, Admiral," she reported through her comm device. "What is our status?" Young Ho asked. "All defensive satellites are online. Ground installations are powered up. The AI network is active and learning." Young Ho nodded. For years, humans had built these defenses in secret. While they asked the Council for help, their best engineers worked underground. They studied every alien technology they could find. They learned from every defeat. "Begin Phase 1, Young Ho ordered. Boram pressed a button. Around New Busan, hundreds of hidden satellites came to life. They had been disguised as space junk for months. The Skari scanners showed nothing dangerous. The Skari fleet moved closer. War Commander Thek stood on his bridge, confident of easy victory. His species had conquered dozens of worlds. Humans were weak. Their weapons were primitive. This would be over quickly. "Range to target?" Thek asked. 50,000 kilometers and closing," reported his weapons officer. "Prepare plasma cannons. Target their largest cities first. Make them suffer before they die." But as the Skari ships entered firing range, something strange happened. The empty space around them suddenly filled with energy beams. Dozens of hidden satellites opened fire at once. The beams were not powerful enough to destroy Skari ships, but they did something else. They mapped every ship's weaknesses. "What is happening?" Thek shouted as his ship shook from multiple hits. "Unknown weapons, sir! They seem to be scanning us!" On her screens, Boram watched as her AI systems learned about Skari technology in real time. Every shot gave her more information. Every shield that blocked an attack told her how those shields worked. "Phase 2, she announced. Now the real weapons came online. Humans had spent 50 years studying alien technology. They took pieces from here and there. A Zentari weapon design combined with Rex shielding. Yalian sensors improved with human engineering. But the most important part was the AI system. While other species built weapons to destroy, humans built weapons to learn. Each shot made the next shot better. The Scari ships returned fire. Their plasma cannons lit up space with deadly energy. But the human defenses were ready. Shields absorbed the attacks while computers calculated the best response. "Sir," the Scari weapons officer called out, "their return fire is getting more accurate." Thek watched in growing alarm as human weapons began hitting weak spots on his ships. Somehow they knew exactly where to shoot. On the planet's surface, Colonel Jinwoo watched the space battle through his command center. His ground forces were ready. The Scari would probably try to land troops when their ships failed. "All units, remember your training," he announced. "The enemy thinks we fight like other species. They are wrong." The Scari had fought many wars. They knew how civilized species fought, rules about civilian targets, concerns about collateral damage, predictable tactics. Humans fought differently. In space, Admiral Young-ho watched as his ships moved into position. They were smaller than Scari vessels, but they were faster. More importantly, they worked together in ways the Scari did not. "Expect. Target their command ship," he ordered. "All weapons, fire." Every human ship and satellite targeted War Commander Thek's vessel, not to destroy it quickly, but to damage it slowly, to make it suffer like humans had suffered. "Impossible," Thek screamed as his shields failed. "How are they doing this?" Boram smiled in her control room. Her AI had learned enough. Now it knew how to hurt them. "Phase 3, she whispered. The hidden weapon platforms revealed themselves. Built into asteroids and disguised as debris, they had been waiting for this moment. Each one carried weapons, designed specifically to fight Scari ships. The battle was over in minutes. Of 50 Scari ships, only one survived. Its engines damaged, it limped away into hyperspace. War Commander Thek was dead. His fleet was destroyed. And across the galaxy, a single message spread. Humans had won. News of the Scari defeat spread across the galaxy like wildfire. In the Galactic Council chambers, emergency meetings ran day and night. The same aliens who had laughed at Commander Han Sol now spoke in worried whispers. Fleet Admiral Haya Jin stood in her war room, studying a holographic map of Scari space. Red dots marked enemy fleets. Blue dots showed human forces. There were far more red dots than blue ones. "Admiral," reported Captain Yunji, "Intelligence Chief Tae-young is here to see you." Tae-young entered the room carrying a data pad. He looked tired but excited. "Admiral, we have located their main battle fleets, 12 groups scattered across 7 systems." "How many ships total?" Haya Jin asked. "Over 800 vessels." The room went quiet. Even after their victory at New Busan, those odds seemed impossible, but Haya Jin smiled. "Perfect," she said. "The more ships they have, the more we can capture." She turned to address her officers. "Gentlemen, the Scari think they lost one fleet to lucky humans. They believe we cannot leave our home systems. Today we teach them they are wrong." "Captain," Yunji spoke up. "Admiral, our stealth ships are ready. The new cloaking technology is working better than expected." "How well?" asked Hye Jin. "We tested it yesterday. A Vrex patrol ship passed within 1,000 meters of the Silent Hunter. Their sensors detected nothing." Tae-young opened his data pad. "Admiral, there is something else. Our sleeper agents have been reporting for months. We know exactly where the Scari will be." "Sleeper agents?" asked Captain Yunji. "For 30 years we have placed humans in alien societies," Tae-young explained. "They work normal jobs, traders, mechanics, translators, but they watch and listen." Admiral Hye Jin nodded. "While we begged the Council for help, our people were learning their secrets. Every alien technology we saw, we copied. Every weakness we noticed, we remembered. She pointed to the holographic map. Operation Reversal begins now. Captain Yunji, take your stealth ships to the Korvax system. Hit their supply depot there. Yes, Admiral. Commander Sungmin, your battle group will strike at Zerion Prime. Their second largest fleet is stationed there. Understood, Admiral. And I will personally deal with the Skari home fleet at Thalarion. The officers looked surprised. The Skari home fleet was their strongest force. Admiral, Captain Yunji said carefully, the home fleet has over 200 ships. We would be outnumbered 10-1. Numbers do not matter, Hyojin replied. What matters is that they do not expect us. 1 week later, Captain Yunji's stealth ships arrived at the Korvax system. The Skari supply depot hung in space like a metal moon. Around it, patrol ships moved in lazy circles. All ships, prepare for attack, Yunji whispered into her comm. Her 5 ships hung invisible in space. The new cloaking technology made them undetectable, but once they fired, their position would be revealed. Target the patrol ships first, she ordered. Make every shot count. The Silent Hunter fired first. Its plasma torpedo struck a Skari patrol ship directly in the engine. The ship exploded in a ball of fire. Before the other patrols could react, 4 more torpedoes found their targets. Alert! Alert! Screamed the Skari base commander. Unknown. Attackers! Ships appearing from nowhere, but it was too late. Captain Yunji's ships moved like ghosts, appearing only long enough to fire before vanishing again. The supply depot, loaded with weapons and fuel, exploded in a massive fireball. At the same time, hundreds of light years away, Commander Sungmin attacked Zerion Prime. The Skari fleet there was larger and stronger than the patrols at Korvax, but they were not prepared for human tactics. Human ships did not fight like other species. They did not form neat battle lines or follow predictable patterns. Instead, they moved like a pack of hunters, striking from different directions, confusing their enemies. How many human ships are there? Demanded the Skari fleet commander. Sensors show 20 vessels, sir, but they are attacking from 6 different vectors. That is impossible. But it was not impossible. It was the human way. Fast. Ships working together, using advanced sensors to coordinate attacks. While the Skari tried to fight the ships in front of them, other human vessels attacked from behind. Meanwhile, Admiral Hyojin approached Thalarion, the Skari homeworld. Her flagship, the Righteous Fury, led a fleet of 30 ships toward the biggest prize of all. Admiral, reported her sensor officer, the Skari home fleet is moving to intercept us. 215 ships confirmed. Good, Hyojin said. Are our friends in position? The sensor officer checked his instruments. Yes, Admiral. All sleeper ships report ready. For years, human agents had worked in Skari space. Some had even joined Skari crews as mercenaries and technicians. Now, those agents were aboard Skari ships, carrying small devices that would change everything. Signal our friends, Hyojin ordered. Execute Order 7. Throughout the Skari home fleet, humans pressed buttons on hidden devices. The devices sent electromagnetic pulses through the ship's systems. Not enough to cause permanent damage, but enough to disable shields and weapons for exactly 60 seconds. 60 seconds was all Admiral Hyojin needed. All ships, fire, she commanded. The human fleet unleashed everything they had. Plasma cannons, quantum torpedoes, and particle beams struck defenseless Skari ships. In 1 minute, over half. The home fleet was destroyed or disabled. Impossible! The Skari admiral screamed as his ship shook from multiple hits. You cannot defeat us! We are the Skari Empire! You were the Skari Empire, Admiral Hyojin replied over the open comm channel. Now, you are just target practice. When the fighting ended, only 12 Skari ships remained. They surrendered immediately. Across the galaxy, emergency news reports spread the unbelievable truth. In 1 week, humans had destroyed 3 major Skari fleets. The mighty empire that had terrorized dozens of worlds was broken. in the galactic council chambers, the blue-skinned speaker called for order. The same chamber where Commander Han Sol had been dismissed now buzzed with panic. "We must discuss this human situation," the speaker announced. "Discuss?" squeaked the Yalian ambassador. "They destroyed the Skari Empire in 7 days." "Perhaps," suggested the Zentari representative nervously, "we should reconsider our relationship with humanity." Outside the chamber, in a small office, a human woman named Ambassador J1 prepared her presentation. She had a message to deliver to the council, a message that would change everything. The age of human weakness was over. The age of human strength had begun. President Seung-mi walked through the same metal doors that Commander Han Sol had exited 3 months earlier, but this time she did not walk alone. Behind her came General Kyung-soo, the architect of humanity's victory. Next to them walked Ambassador Jae-won, carrying the new terms for galactic peace. The Galactic Council chamber was full, but quiet. No one laughed when the humans entered. No one whispered jokes about the weak species from Earth. Every alien representative watched, the humans with careful eyes. "The human delegation will address the council," announced the blue-skinned speaker. His voice shook slightly. President Seung-mi stepped onto the central platform. She looked around the chamber with calm confidence. These same beings had dismissed her people for 150 years. Today, that would change forever. "Honored council members," she began, "I come before you not to ask for help, but to offer it." Murmurs filled the chamber, confused murmurs this time. "As you know, the Skari Empire no longer exists. Their fleets are destroyed. Their worlds are under human protection. Their people are learning to live in peace." The Vrex representative, his cat-like features tense, spoke up. "President Seung-mi, how did humans accomplish this? Your technology was inferior to theirs." General Kyung-soo stepped forward. "May I answer that?" The president nodded. "For over 100 years, the general said, humans have been learning. While we asked you for help, we also watched how you built your machines. We studied how you fought your battles. We remembered every lesson." He activated a holographic display. Images of human agents appeared, mechanics working on Skari ships, translators in Zentari meetings, traders visiting Vrex worlds. "Our people were everywhere," Kyung-soo continued. "Every time you gave us small technologies, we made them better. Every time you told us we were too weak, we became stronger." The Ixian representative made clicking sounds with his mandibles. "You spied on us? While pretending to be helpless?" "We learned from you," the general corrected. "Just as children learn from parents. But children eventually grow up." President Seung-mi took control again. "The question now is not how we won, but what happens next. The galaxy needs protection from those who would destroy peace. Humans will provide that protection." "And what do you want in return?" asked the Zentari representative suspiciously. "Nothing," the president replied simply. The chamber went silent. "Nothing," the speaker repeated. "We do not want your tribute. We do not want your resources. We do not want to rule over you." The president paused. "But we will have respect." Ambassador Jae-won opened her datapad. "The new galactic order will work like this. All species remain free to govern themselves. Trade continues as before, but disputes between species will be settled by human mediators. And if we refuse?" asked the Yalian ambassador. General Kyung-soo smiled. It was not a friendly smile. "Then you can ask the Skari how refusal worked for them." "That sounds like a threat," said the Vrex representative. "It is a promise," the general replied. "Humans will protect those who want peace. We will destroy those who choose war." President Seung-mi raised her hand for silence. "Let me be clear. We do not want to control you. We want to protect you. But protection requires trust. And trust requires that aggressive species learn to behave. The Ixian representative leaned forward. What if other species develop weapons like yours? What if they challenge human power? Innovation is welcome, the president answered. Competition makes everyone stronger, but weapons of mass destruction will not be tolerated. We learned that lesson from the Skari. A new voice spoke from the upper levels of the chamber. It belonged to a species humans had rarely seen, the ancient ethereals, who had founded the Council centuries ago. "Young humans," the ethereal said in a voice like wind through crystals, "power corrupts even the best intentions. How do we know you will not become the next Skari?" President Sung-mi looked up at the ghostly figure. "Because we remember what it feels like to be powerless. We remember asking for help and being denied. We will not let others suffer as we did." She gestured to the assembled aliens. "Each of your species has stories of when you were weak, when others threatened your worlds. You understand fear." The chamber was completely silent now. "The difference is this," the president continued. "When you became strong, you forgot what weakness felt like. You became comfortable with letting others suffer. Humans will never be comfortable with that." Ambassador Jae-won stepped forward. "The new galactic constitution is ready for your review. It guarantees protection for all peaceful species. It ensures fair trade and open communication. And it places humanity as the guardians of galactic peace." "And if we do not sign?" asked the speaker. "Then you remain free to handle threats by yourselves," General Kyung-soo replied. "But do not expect human help when the next Skari Empire rises." One by one, the species representatives began to nod. The Zentari were first, followed by the Ixian. Even the proud Vrex eventually agreed. The ancient ethereal spoke again. "Very well, humans. We will trust you with this burden. But remember, those who protect others must also protect themselves from their own power." President Sung-mi bowed respectfully. "We will remember, honored ethereal. We will always remember." 3 hours later, the new galactic constitution was signed. For the first time in galactic history, all species agreed to a single document, a document that made humanity the guardians of peace. As the human delegation prepared to leave, the council speaker approached them. "President Sung-mi," he said, quietly, "I must ask, this was all planned, was it not? From the beginning?" The president turned to face him. "From the day we joined the council, we knew this moment would come. Not because we wanted power, but because someone had to take responsibility. And if humanity ever becomes corrupt? If you become the threat?" President Sung-mi smiled sadly. "Then it will be time for another species to step forward. That is how the galaxy grows." The human delegation left the chamber. Behind them, the greatest political transformation in galactic history had begun. The age of asking for help was over. The age of providing help had begun. Outside the chamber, General Kyung-soo asked President Seung-mi a question. "Do you think we did the right thing?" "Ask me in 100 years," she replied, "when we see what kind of galaxy we have built." The galaxy would never be the same, and humanity would make sure it was better.